God
guys,
fucking
link it is on-
damn.
It's on Twitter trending. Okay, let's watch this.
Damn.
Was that Will Smith?
Oh my god. Just immediately fucking comes out, makes a joke. Was that Will Smith? This is what's really funny about this is let's go ahead, we're gonna pull this up. So language like this, Dave Chappelle, you're next. So if you look at this person here about getting slapped or anything like this, why is this account not banned? Don't you find this to be interesting? Why is this account not removed? Because here's my perspective on this, is that I think anybody who is advocating for violence against other people 100% should be banned. Like, if you are advocating for physical violence against somebody who is not being physical, like, I'm not talking about like, oh, well, he should have hit him back after he got hit. Like, self-defense, totally fucking fine. But I'm talking about going up and randomly hitting somebody, etc. This should be an immediate permaban. Like, an immediate fucking permaban. And this is the kind of stuff that makes people distrust Twitter. This is why people are happy that Elon Musk bought Twitter. Is because people are they're sick of seeing pieces of shit like this make comments like this, the tweet goes viral, and nothing happens to them. How is this going viral at 60,000 likes? Advocating violence onto somebody. It's outrageous. Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. And someone said the same thing about you on your Reddit, got downvoted to hell. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd have to look at it and see why it got downvoted. Elon is for more free speech, though. So if you, like, I've never talked to Elon Musk, okay? Like, I've never talked to him. I don't know what his stance is on this. But I think if you were to ask him, is this tweet acceptable, he would say no. Really, I think that he would say no, because this is advocating violence. Everybody agrees that there should be some limits on free speech. Everybody thinks this. Yeah, get Elon on Allcraft. I don't know. I mean, listen, if he wants to come on the show, I'm ready whenever. Okay, like, yeah, I'm fucking ready whenever. They've got a Tesla factory here in Austin or somewhere here in Texas. I'll drive out and hang out with them. I'm totally fucking fine to do that. But here's the facts, is that I think that if you are calling for violence on people, I can almost fucking guarantee that that is something that he would not support either. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, Trump's banned for inciting violence, since the guy, in your opinion, should be banned for saying, Dave Chappelle, you're next. Trump's banned for inciting violence. I think that, like, calling for a protest on something is not really inciting violence. And if you want to say that calling for a protest on something is inciting violence, you would have to say that a lot of the people that supported the riots that happened 2 years ago should also get banned too, which you probably don't think that. So it's very different than calling for a protest. Yeah, I mean, and I'm calling these protests. Yeah, they're both... Listen, the January 6th thing was a riot, and so were all of the riots that happened after George Floyd. They were both riots, they were both disgusting, and they were both bad. They were both awful. I don't support either one of them. I support any time that somebody wants to go somewhere and protest, etc. I think that's totally fine. Even if you want to protest about something stupid. You have every right to do that, because that's what the country was founded on, and that's what it's about. However, that right ends whenever you are violent and you destroy people's property, despite what people may believe that they have some sort of ideological authority or emotional authority to destroy property because of how aggrieved they feel. Going through piping hot takes, this is not a hot take. This is what everybody thinks. The only people that don't think this are nutballs. Most people looked at the January 6th thing and said, wow, this is fucking disgusting. And most people also looked at the riots that happened throughout the entire year and said, wow, this is fucking disgusting. That's what I would say, like 90% of people think this. And I'm sick of pretending like they don't. Most people look at this and they think that both sides are fucking nuts. They're absolutely fucking insane. Yeah, this is not a hot take. This is an opinion that I think the overwhelming majority, the vast majority of the public believes. You did say it was justified back then. What the fuck? It was justified. I don't remember what I said. Like, did I say something? You have to, like, find a clip and see what I said. And it's probably, again, I misunderstood you and so you're wrong. Yeah, just about a Chappelle tackle. Never seen someone attempt to spear somebody, another person, and bounce off. It's comical how the dude bounced off of Chappelle. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not going to go back to that kind of stuff, etc., right? It's his right to make jokes, especially as a comedian. Well, it's your right to be able to say what you want without advocating violence against people. And your buddy Hassan would disagree with what you're saying. Nobody's talking about Hassan. Listen, he doesn't need his $3 million house. He's already living rent-free in your head. Shut up. Nobody's talking about that. I think that everybody doesn't want the right. Everybody didn't want that stuff. And this is, again, what I'm saying, is that you're seeing this happen more and more in culture where people consider themselves, their level of offense to something justifies violent behavior. Like, I think that's so dangerous. National polls during riots were closely 50-50 split in support or against. Yes, I think so, because probably, like, national support of the riots. Well, that's because a lot of people didn't look at them as riots, and also they weren't reported on as riots in many regards. And that's, I think, that was a fuck up. You should have shown, like, yes, there are people that are committing crimes, etc. It was bad. It really was. It was mostly peaceful. It was mostly peaceful. That's true. And that's why I said they should still be able to go out and do that. Absolutely. Of course they should be able to do that. That's what they should be able to do. That's the way it works. Mostly peaceful. Well, it's true, though. I do think it's generally true. Let me go back over here and read some more of these. What if change needs to happen and protests aren't working at some point? Violence, especially in response to violence? If protests aren't working, well, maybe your protest isn't working because you have a bad argument and people don't agree with you. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe your protest isn't working because your idea is bad. Like, just because your protest doesn't work doesn't mean that you just, oh, I'm not getting what I want, so now I just get to be violent because I'm not getting what I want. That's not how it works. A lot of countries get their colonial independence through protests. Yeah, well, I mean, we saw what happened with Chaz. That happened the same year. They got their independence too. How'd that work out? Or is it because people have the power to make the changes are opposed to your viewpoint? The people have the power. They can vote. The fact is that there's a lot of people that get upset that they get outvoted. They're mad that more people voted against them, and they think that because, they're going to subvert the democratic process, they're going to subvert the process of law because they feel that they have a sufficient moral authority to do so. And it's the same mentality that makes tweets like this. It's the same mentality that's, rationalizes violence against someone like Dave Chappelle. It's the exact same thing. It's all the same. It's people that think that it's okay. Protests have become revolutions when governments don't listen to good points. Yeah, and also protests have also just not become revolutions, and they've become violent, and they've damaged millions of people's lives. Like, it's a very silly way to look at things. Need term limits? I don't think that matters. I really don't. Just because you elect a new dipshit every year doesn't mean anything's gonna change. Meet the new dipshit, same as the old dipshit. Yeah, I don't think that matters. I don't care about that. It's a fucking misdirection. Did you really think the American system's good? I think the American system has huge flaws. But I think fundamentally, being able to vote on people that can control your rights and that you have authority to do so is the best system possible. Absolutely. Fuzzy Moto, thank you very much for the 5. Get the community subs. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. True? Like, yeah, what do you want instead? Do you want a king? Do you want, like, some sort of, like, other unelected military council? What's your solution for this? It's ridiculous. Yeah, direct democracy is good. I think that in a lot of ways it is. In some ways it's not. Like, for example, I think being able to vote for and against people's rights is much different than voting for, like, different other types of legislation. You have unelected military council, which has a very strong word of the presidents, as far as I know. Oh yeah, no, I think so, and that's true. Like, yes, they do have a strong word. There's a lot of people that have a strong word, and obviously the military should have some degree of impact. But it's very different. Like if you, and this is, I think, this is again the American privilege, and I see this all the time, is that people like there are people here in America that spend too much time on Twitter and not enough time in the real world. And let's be honest, I don't really understand this either, but at least I know I don't. If you honestly think that like America or the way things go here or in a lot of places in Europe too is even in the same universe as what happens in like Russia, China, or like some of these other you know, fucking like in like these countries where there's just some warlord that's in charge who just goes around killing people, it's the height of privilege. It is. If you even think that there's the slightest amount of comparison. It's this slight, it's completely fucking different. Abinok, thank you very much for the 10 to gift the community subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We have Democratic Republics, very distinct from full democracy. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can make an argument that, like, you know, you could vote differently, etc. But I think that obviously your votes do matter, even in our system. The people who say their votes don't matter are just mad because they're not getting what they want, because a lot of people don't think the same thing that they do. That's all there is to it. Of course your votes matter. And the establishment relies on you not thinking that's the case. They are financially and in all ways vested in the idea that it's not your votes don't matter, and continuously demoralizing you. Jersey Yonka the 5, get the community subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bro, it's just not true. It absolutely is true. I find this to be so funny where people think their votes don't matter. Of course your votes fucking matter. Of course they fucking matter. If the voting system works how it should, yes. Yes, obviously you do. They do. Now, does it work? Does every individual person's vote matter in every circumstance? No, it doesn't. You have gerrymandering, you have other types of obfuscation, and I'm against that as much as you are. But just because some people's votes don't matter doesn't mean that other people's votes do matter. Yeah, there are a lot of people's votes that do matter, and as a large collective, it does matter. So you just contradict yourself? I'm permabanning you because you can't understand nuance. You're permabanned. You're done. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read your stupid opinions. You can't understand the nuance between the two things that I said, and you think that's contradictory. It's because you're stupid. You vote someone in and they don't deliver. Yeah, and then they don't deliver on their promise. Yeah. That's what happens. So why do you think that keeps happening? Why do you think that keeps happening, that you vote people in and they don't deliver on their promise? Yeah, why do you think that happens? It's because, is there a way to recall a president? Is there a way for a president to be removed? I think that there is. There absolutely is. Why don't you push for that? Why not? It's because not enough people believe it. Not enough people care. If enough people care, I've always been of the mindset for this. If you get enough people together, you can do anything that you want. It doesn't matter how good or how evil it is, you can do anything that you want. And history has proven that over and over and over again. It doesn't matter what you think is okay or not okay, this can happen. So every single time that people are told that their votes don't matter, that they're consistently demoralized, etc., I think all this does to do is to it serves to reinforce the elite hegemony. It just reinforces the apathy, so the people are not actually looking at it from a perspective of change. Actually, right, but to rule in democracy, you need to only rule over 50% of the people. Well, that's why we have other types of controls for that. But yeah, sure. I think that's the way it's always going to go. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? In like a monarchy, it's going to be 100% of the people? That's absolutely not the case. There's always going to be people that differ in opinion. Every time someone goes to violent extremists and makes a movement they represent look really bad. Let's see here. And I also want to talk a little bit more about this. Like, I'm not going to get too far into, like, I can see that we're now arguing about politics, etc., and things like this, right? I'm not going to get too far into politics or anything like that. I think in general, let's go back to this conversation, because I think people have like their takes on it and their opinion on it. And again, I think that is I will rephrase what I'm saying and then we'll move on. I think it is a tremendous right that you can actually vote on things in the country. And I think people who squander that right and think that it doesn't matter are at the absolute height of privilege, and they should see what it's like in countries like China, countries like Russia, countries like North Korea, and many other places in the world where speaking out against your government literally gets you killed. And I think people feel, and they try to make a false equivalency between their lifestyle here in America and what it's really like in those other countries, and I can't think of anything that's farther from the truth. I think those people are delusional, and the only reason why they're doing that is they are increasing and upping the ante. Draconic Red, thanks for 5 good subs. They are increasing the rhetoric so they can rationalize violent behavior on their end instead. I think that's what it is. That's clearly what it is. And you see this again. This guy tries to tackle Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle makes a joke that he doesn't like. It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. What about the government wanting to create a ministry of truth? Vote them out. Just vote them out. It's not hard. Just vote them out. Like, that's not, there's no, like, you just get enough people together and vote them out. Yeah, gerrymander to shit, vote them out. If you had enough people together, you could do anything you want. And I think that's what those revolutions do show. Cool Watt, thank you very much for the 5. Get the community subs. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, they do. Just as privileged as we are, don't you agree? There are so many flaws in the system still. Oh my God, it's embarrassing how bad it is. It is. It's shameful. I can't believe it. It's awful. I'm just like, I'm constantly in shock about how bad these systems are. Yeah, it's absolutely horrible, man.